Coffee tastes like sweet success and a little bit of pumpkin spice. All right, so you have in the chat the article of the week. This week's article is from my favorite place, you all know, U.S. News and World Report, because they really do have great articles on what's going on with school, what's going on with college, and they have a lot of good contributors. Like this person I have never read an article from before, but that's great. I love that they have different contributors. The title of this article is How Colleges Weigh Applicants' Extracurricular Activities. Colleges appreciate applicants with meaningful extracurricular achievements, not just club memberships. Boom, right there. That's it. All right, let's call it. Let's go home. That's it. I mean, that's really, I'm so happy that this article just came out and I'm able to bring it to you. This came out in October 25th of this year, which means it was recent. And so I want to get into a little bit, and I'll read a little bit, and then we'll jump into analysis. High school students eager to stand out in the college application process often participate in a litany of extracurricular activities, hoping to bolster their chances of admission to a selective undergraduate institution. You guys, in the future, right? However, college admissions experts say that the quality of a college hopeful's extracurricular activities matters more than the number of activities he or she participates in. Somebody I know said that before once. Experts note that merely participating in an extracurricular activity is not enough to impress admissions committees at prestigious colleges, which typically seek students with significant extracurricular accomplishments in addition to strong academic credentials. The grades matter. Some ways to distinguish oneself in the college admissions process includes winning awards in competitions, getting elected to leadership positions, producing compelling research or beautiful art, and performing meaningful community service, experts suggest. So before I get into my analysis of this, I'm just going to scroll down and see if I can find who these experts are or if there's any kind of works cited. Nope. Okay. So this doesn't have a great works cited, but I mean, I got to tell you, I've done research in this as well. And they also, so Sue Rexford, who is the director of college guidance at the Charles E. Smith Jewish Day School. This is not the first time I've heard of Sue Rexford, and also I'm sure other people are being referenced in this article. So it has a lot of validity. In my mind, I deal with this all the time. I talk about this all the time. If I have somebody who's like a 3-season sport person or a 3-season activity person, but 2 of them are really just kind of weak, and the third one is the one they really care about, and they could do better in it if they weren't draining their resources from, by doing the other 2. Cut the losses, stay in the one, have longevity, leadership, and success. Those are the 3 key attributes of a good extracurricular. So that's a lot of what they talk about in this article. I love it. I'm so happy that this is what this article talks about. I'm like, oh my gosh, music to my ears. I was just talking about this last week. I'm very excited. So the article is absolutely accurate in what they're talking about. I mean, I have friends who are also in the admissions process. Not that that's research that's anecdotal, but the research also bears this out. Students who are in leadership positions, who have more than 2 years in an extracurricular activity, those are the people that tend to find themselves up the ladder in the college admissions process and the grades. So you can't just say, well, I was really good on my tennis team. I had a 2.5, but I was really good on the tennis team. They're going to be like, that's nice. Should have dropped tennis and gotten better grades. The grades really do matter, guys. I mean, it's pretty clear the grades matter. A lot of what we talk about in terms of grades is, you need to work on figuring out how to do what needs to be done to get better grades, because you just need better grades. I mean, and sometimes that's really hard and it takes a lot of work and that's not fun. And that's why we talk a lot about that meaning and purpose stuff. But boom, here you go. Extracurriculars can help you out. Help you, not make it or break it. It's not like the extracurricular is more important. It just definitely helps. So, this is just beautiful that this came out. It's very timely. And so why are you hearing about this now? If you're a freshman in high school and you're watching this and you're saying, yeah, so what? I mean, I could do well in something in 2 years. Nope. You have to be in a sport or in an activity. It doesn't have to be a sport, by the way. It could be a chess club. It could be an alternative sport. It could be skiing, could be fencing. It could be a scholastic team. It could be a student government position. It could be a debate team. It could be an art program, an extracurricular art program. It could be martial arts. It could be the Scouts. I mean, I just listed a bazillion things that you could be doing. But if you are not in it for the long haul, in other words, if you do not start early, like, now would be good now, you won't have the time to gain the respect of your peers and get into a leadership position. You will not have the time and energy to practice and invest and get really good at it and be a winner in it, whether that's on a state level or a local level or whatever, or just a lifetime or whatever, a career achievement at your school. You cannot get that if you are not there for the long haul. There are people who are going to be in it for the long haul. If you are one of those people, you do need to network. It's a little political, but it's also about skill. It's about showing up. It's about doing what you need to do. It's about putting in the effort and the time. The interesting thing about this, colleges love high-level achievement in extracurriculars because you can't fake it. In a world where we don't know how good the grades are in comparison to other schools, because, I mean, it's all subjective, kind of. And in a world where there's so much help for SAT and ACT prep, it's very hard to fake 4 years of commitment, a captain or team leader position in an extracurricular activity with achievements that go along with it and a letter of recommendation from a coach or an adult leader. It's very hard to fake that. That's a level of success that it's subjective, but it's honestly measurable. You're either in one of those or you're not. I can check off boxes. How many years were you there? How many years were you in a leadership position? How many things did you volunteer to do? Is there a recommendation letter from this coach or this head of this program or not? And, what were your lifetime achievements there? I kind of will know. I'll know if you're really good and involved and a hard worker. And if you can achieve excellence in something that's on top of your school and you get good grades, you're exactly the kind of person that almost every college is going to want. So I'm going to jump back into this really quickly because there's a couple of examples and things like that. So Cynthia Crum, who's the director of college counseling at the Episcopal Academy, which is a private high school in Philadelphia, suggests that it's not mandatory for someone to specialize in one extracurricular activity in order to get accepted into a selective college. Contrarily, both pointy students with a narrow extracurricular focus and well-rounded students with a variety of extracurricular activities can get into their dream college. She encourages students to participate in activities that will help them clarify their career goals and guide them toward the undergraduate degree program that's the best fit. Crum says that career exploration activity helps students demonstrate self-awareness and maturity in their undergraduate applications. That's a signal to colleges that says, I understand what I'm walking into. I have found awareness to back up my thoughts that I might want to do this. I don't think there could be a better case. Thank you, Cynthia Crum, Director of College Counseling, for making the case for college success coaching. I mean, honestly, what are we doing here? That's what we're doing every week. And hopefully you're following along with us. You're asking the questions. You're exploring these career choices because it's exactly what she was saying. Yeah, you could be a high achiever in one extracurricular that you're just really good at. Like I was really good in debate and I did really well and I was in it for 5 years. And so I also got good grades, and that was one route. That's the pointy student, right? I did other things, but not nearly as well as debate. But then there's the other student that tries out some things, but they have this cluster of extracurricular activities that move towards what they want to go into college for. So if you are an artist and you're gifted, but you're not sure what exactly the type of art that you want to get into is, but you join these art academies or extracurricular art groups or whatever, and you're submitting work, you're doing things competitively, and you're the leader at the end of this, that looks really good for getting into a great art school. This is the sort of work that we talk about in terms of finding your purpose, finding what value you have in certain activities and your way of placing yourself in the world, because it's recognizable. So don't just take my word for it. Listen to Cynthia Crum. Listen to the experts in college and in college admissions and college coaching, because This is the real stuff. This is where the rubber meets the road. People are getting into colleges because they're either very well-rounded and they've committed time and energy into becoming more mature and understanding what they want out of a career and knowing what they're going into college for and what it's going to be like, or by achieving high levels of success in something that they really put a lot of time and energy and effort into over time. Again, this is what we do here. So, I mean, it's the perfect article. And I'm really happy to have shared that with you guys, and looking forward to a discussion of it after this. But for all of you who are on YouTube, this has been the article of the week. All right, guys. So I want to talk a little bit more about, not the article itself, because the article is pretty much, I mean, that horse has been beaten. But the idea here is, if we are talking about what it is that you want to do when you grow up, you're already kind of grown up, right? But like what you want to do with your life, if we get to discuss that on a regular basis, and you've tried things and you liked this and you didn't like that, write these things down, keep track of them, document them, because this is something that will benefit you. Even just saying that you did college success coaching. Let's say you did this with me. You're with me for 4 years. Let's say you did that and you participated for 4 years. That is something to put down on a resume. You were a 4-year participant of college success coaching, because a college will literally go to my website. They will look at what I do and they will say, oh, wow, this is a whole website dedicated to becoming mature and growing and learning your purpose and getting a lot out of your academic and social life. That's enough. I mean, that's a big deal. That's a 4-year commitment to something that is going to make an impact. So just the journey, just exploring what it is that you want to do, that's enough to show that you're ahead of the game in terms of the competition, which is your peers. Boom.